자, 여러분, 천궁이라는 미사일 요즘 난리죠? 그런데 제가 오늘 하려는 이야기는 사실 미사일이 아니에요. 그 전에 먼저 일단 천궁이라는 미사일 이름에 숨겨진 비밀부터 풀어볼게요. 천궁, 한자로 하늘천의 활궁이에요. 하늘의 활. 왜 하필 이름이 활일까요? 고구려 고분 벽화 보신 적 있으시죠? 무용총이나 각저총 같은 데 보면 말을 타고 달리면서 활을 쏘는 무사들이 그려져 있어요. 우리나라는 국토의 70%가 산이잖아요. 산악지형에서는 길고 무거운 창을 들고 돌아다니기가 힘들어요. 그래서 우리 조상들은 가볍고 주변에서 재료도 쉽게 구할 수 있으면서 먼 거리까지 공격이 가능한 무기를 발전시켰어요. 바로 활이에요. 고구려의 맥궁이라고 들어보셨어요? 크기는 작은데 위력은 어마어마해서 중국에서도 최고급 무기로 쳐줬대요. 조선시대에는 아예 묵과 시험 핵심 과목이 활쏘기였고요. 우리 민족은 정말 1000년 넘게 활과 함께 살아온 거예요. 그리고 그 DNA가 지금도 살아있어요. 두 군데에서요. 하나는 대한민국 양궁이고 하나는 바로 이 천궁 미사일이에요. 먼저 양궁 이야기부터 할게요. 한국 양궁이 얼마나 무서운 줄 아세요? 1988년 서울올림픽 때부터 지금까지 약 40년 가까이 세계 정상 자리를 한 번도 내준 적이 없어요. 2016년 리우올림픽에서는 남녀 개인전, 단체전 전 종목을 싹 쓸어버렸고요. 2024년 파리올림픽에서도 또 금메달을 휩쓸었어요. 이쯤 되면 다른 나라 선수들이 한국팀 보면 어떤 기분일까요? 근데 진짜 소름 돋는 건 이게 천재 한두 명 덕분이 아니라는 거예요. 시스템 자체가 괴물이에요. 대한양궁협회라는 곳이 있는데요. 한국에서 가장 모범적인 스포츠 협회로 꼽혀요. 왜냐고요? 올림픽 금메달을 따와도 다음 대회 나가려면 처음부터 선발전을 다시 뛰어야 하거든요. 특혜 같은 거 없어요. 2020 도쿄올림픽에서 한국 하계올림픽 역사상 최초 3관왕을 달성한 안산 선수마저 2024 파리올림픽 선발전에서 탈락했어요. 못 쏘면 금메달리스트도 끝이에요. 그래서 양궁계에서는 올림픽 금메달보다 국가대표 선발전이 더 어렵다는 말이 진심으로 통해요. 감독도 마찬가지예요. 전 대회에서 전 종목 석권을 이뤄내도 다음 감독 선발에서는 그 실적이 0점이에요. 40년 넘게 축적한 700페이지 분량의 매뉴얼이 있는데 이걸 얼마나 잘 이해하고 실행하느냐만 봐요. 인맥이 끼어들 틈이 아예 없는 거죠. 다른 스포츠협회에서 사건 사고가 터질 때마다 인터넷 댓글에 꼭 달리는 말이 뭔지 아세요? 양궁협회 보고 좀 배워라 이거예요. 거기에 현대자동차 그룹이 뒤에서 미친듯이 지원해요. 파리올림픽 때는 경기장을 아예 국내에 똑같이 복제했어요. 경기장 디자인은 물론이고 대기석 배치, 프랑스어 응원 소리까지 틀어놨대요. 경기장이 센강 근처에 있으니까 비슷한 조건을 맞추려고 남한강 옆에 훈련장을 세웠고요. 양궁 전용 신발까지 개발했어요. 골프화는 있고 역도화도 있는데 양궁화는 왜 없냐면서요. 심지어 양궁 로봇까지 만들어서 훈련시켰는데 이 로봇이 얼마나 정확하냐면 국가대표 선수들도 만점을 안 노리면 이기기 힘들 정도예요. 선수 관리도 장난이 아니에요. 선발전에서 선수 한 명이 쏘는 화살이 1년에 4,000발이 넘고요. 국제대회 끝나면 상대팀 기록 분석부터 몇 점 이상 쏴야 이길 확률이 높은지까지 전부 보고서로 만들어요. 거의 프로야구 세이버 매트릭스 수준이에요. 도쿄올림픽 때는 일본이 지진이 잦으니까 지진 대피 훈련까지 정규 프로그램에 넣었대요. 이 정도 디테일이면 좀 무섭지 않아요? 그리고 하나 더. 양궁은 사교육이 금지예요. 양궁을 배우기 시작할 때부터 협회에서 모든 비용을 지원하고 육성하기 때문에 학벌이나 인맥으로 파벌이 만들어지는 게 원천적으로 불가능해요. 오직 실력만으로 올라가는 구조예요. 그러니까 어느 집 아이든 활만 잘 쏘면 올림픽에 갈 수 있는 거예요. 자, 이쯤에서 잠깐만 앞에서 이야기한 천궁 이야기를 조금만 들려드릴게요. 이 천궁2가 이번 이란 사태에서 96%라는 요격률을 기록했어요. 100발 날아오면 96발을 떨어뜨린 거예요. 그 옆에서 중국이 자랑하던 최신 레이더 시스템은요. F-35 같은 스텔스기를 200km 밖에서 잡는다고 큰소리 쳤는데 실전에서는 코앞에서도 탐지를 못해서 이란이 결국 전량 폐기했대요. 이걸 본 카타르가 바로 한국산 천궁2 구매 의사를 밝혔고요. 기존에 계약한 UAE, 사우디, 이라크까지 서로 먼저 보내달라고 난리예요. 미국 패트리어트는 주문하면 5년, 유럽제는 7년에서 10년을 기다려야 하는데 한국은요, 요청하면 며칠 만에 수송기가 뜨는 나라예요. 70년 넘는 휴전 상태에서 항상 전쟁을 대비해온 양산 체계 덕분이에요. 이게 다 합쳐져서 UAE와 86조 원 규모의 초대형 경제 협력까지 이어졌고요. 고구려 무사가 말 위에서 활시위를 당기던 그때부터 올림픽 금메달을 휩쓸고 있는 양궁, 그리고 하늘 위에 미사일을 격추하는 천궁까지 수천 년이 지나도 우리는 여전히 활을 쏘고 있는 거예요. 그리고 그 활은 지금 세계가 인정하는 최고예요. 자, 그래서요, 오늘 영상 끝에 아주 특별한 경기를 하나 준비했어요. 한국 양궁의 전설 오진혁 선수 아시죠? 2012년 런던 올림픽에서 한국 남자 양궁 최초 개인전 금메달을 딴 선수예요. 근데 이분이 그냥 레전드가 아니에요. 31살에 첫 금메달을 따고 그 뒤로도 매년 지옥 같은 선발전을 계속 뚫으면서 2020 도쿄올림픽에서는 40살의 나이에 단체전 금메달까지 추가했어요. 23살, 동생 아니 조카뻘인 김재덕 선수가 오진혁 파이팅! 하고 반말로 응원하는 바람에 해설진이 깜짝 놀랐는데 알고 보니 오진혁 선수가 먼저 모두에게 형이라고 편하게 불러달라고 했대요. 젊어지는 기분이라면서요. 그리고 결승에서 마지막 화살을 쏜 뒤 딱 한마디. 끝! 20년 넘는 선수 인생의 무게가 그 한 글자에 다 담겨 있었어요. 은퇴 이야기가 몇 번이나 나왔지만 그때마다 다시 돌아온 불사조 같은 선수예요. 이분의 월드컵 준결승 경기를 준비했는데요. 상대는 네덜란드의 스티브 바일러. 현 올림픽 챔피언도 꺾고 세계 랭킹 1위도 잡고 올라온 무서운 선수예요. 41세의 오진혁 선수는 이 강적을 어떻게 상대했을까요? 라인에 걸린 화살 하나로 경기 흐름이 완전히 뒤집히는 소름 돋는 순간이 있거든요. 바로 보여드릴게요.
On target number 1, representing the Netherlands,
1号码来自荷兰
Steve Weiler. On target number 2, representing the Republic of Korea,
2号码来自韩国
Oh Jin-hyuk. The line judge for this matchup is
起射线裁判
Shannon Russell Kite. Well, two possible outcomes. There is a gold medal match spot.
So the first semi-final is between Steve Weiler from the Netherlands, the world number 13 at 26 years old, against the 41-year-old Korean Oh Jin-hyuk, the world number 18. Oh won the Olympic title in 2012 and was part of the team that won the Olympic gold in 2020. Steve Weiler was the mixed team silver medalist, along with Gabby Schlusser in Tokyo, but won this very competition back in 2017.
Yeah, I think the premise of this match is Steve has to get to this final. He has had to beat both the current Olympic champion Mete Gazoz and the number 1 ranked archer of this competition, Brady Ellison. So he is known to be able to beat some very high level archers, and he did it this week. And if he wants to get a shot at the gold, he'll have to do the same to the 2012 London Olympic champion.
Yeah, the longevity of O is the fascinating thing here. He just showing no signs of retiring.
Yeah, and I don't know if he has any current world records. I think he does on some distances of the FIDA round, but in any case, I think he has the world record of amount of times he said he was going to retire and still got back to the finals venue.
Oh, so there have been signs of retirement, they just haven't come to fruition.
8.
Well, I'm drifting out to the left. Leaves an open door for the Dutch archer.
9.
And a 9 is enough for a 28 in the first 2 set points. Not really a huge amount of time to talk during that first set. They are shooting at great speed.
Yeah, they're not making any fuss about it. They're just doing what they're here to do.
Ranked world number 18. Steve Weiler is ranked world number 13.
Was there anything in particular that you spotted from that 8? I mean, it's not a bad score, but it stands out.
A bit of a rough release maybe, but he always has a bit of a rotation in his hand when he releases. Typically it's quite a fluent movement, and this time it was a bit choppy. Maybe that's the only thing that I could really discover with that shot, but it was also a bit quicker than what we're used to seeing from him, so it might have just not been his greatest timing, and his side may not have been in the middle.
Well, you know all these archers really well, but perhaps the Dutch archers are a little bit better than everyone else. Is it me, or does Steve Weiler, that is, appear to be just a little bit more settled and controlled with his emotions this season?
So far, what we've seen from him, both here and at the Grand Prix in Lillehammer, yeah, it seems like he's more at a certain level with his emotion rather than up and down. And I think it's also just that he's matured a bit on the stage. The first time he was here was also his first World Cup in 2017. He has a bit more experience under his belt now, and yeah, well, it's showing in the final rounds that he's shooting. Didn't really have a great World Cup in Antalya, but he did have the European Archery Grand Prix, and he had a great indoor season. So, yeah, he for sure knows how to get into the finals.
8 or 9, too close to call.
Well, into the 8, but that's marked for a measure.
8.
And that's drifted out to the 8. And I did notice the wind slightly picked up again on the shooting line. And we got the flags to see that it's starting to blow again.
10.
A very important 10 here for Oh Jin-hyuk. I think his second arrow has a very good chance of hitting the line, but I only got a very slight look at it. But if it does hit the line, that means that he tied up the match. So the judge has this in his hands right now.
Well, it's yes, the call certainly is in his or her hands. They have to go and measure that second arrow, at least have a look at it. It was exceptionally close, that is for sure. Too difficult to call even from the shooting line. There doesn't seem to be a huge amount of comfort as to whether that one is in or out.
That will be coming in momentarily.
I think it's in.
Looks like it, doesn't it?
This is one of those moments where if I was sat at home on my couch, I would have probably scrolled back in the video, pause it, see if it's in or out, and then go back to the live moment, but cannot really do that here.
No, you can't do it when it's live, can you?
The third set now. Oh Jin-hyuk will shoot first on target 2.
Well, that was the arrow in question.
刚才吴振赫的第2支箭被裁判判定为9环，这让他扳回一局。现在的比分是2-2平。
On the scoreboards it says 2 versus 2, so I guess it was upgraded to a 9.
So all square. Oh, starting set number 3.
Bit of a choppy release again. I feel like he's struggling to get the right expansion going. And especially some years ago we would see him just be super comfortable in his shot and everything would look very dynamic and nice and fluent. Right now I'm not really seeing that same Oh Jin-hyuk, but
9.
it's not bad by any means. It's just not the same level of fluidity that we've seen before from him.
9.
Also see Weiler doing a little bit of Bokwando correction.
Yeah, which is not unique for him. Obviously, we've seen that a lot from him, and that's just him. His mindset is do whatever it takes to get that arrow in the middle.
9.
It doesn't matter how it looks or feels, as long as the arrow goes in the middle. Steve has done a couple technique changes over the last couple of years. And it mostly means that he has a bit more of a stable base to shoot from. He used to have a bit of a higher shoulder, he used to have a bit of a different anchor point, but over the years he's kind of polished his technique to be more consistent and more stable. So now where before he could shoot a really small group and then like a slightly bigger group, now it's more consistent. He's just decreased the group size a bit.
One of those situations. We'll wait for the official target judge.
Well, whilst you're talking about, I was just trying to have a look at that target of Oh Jin-hyuk, because that second arrow was right next to the line. Now I think that might well have been marked up. It sounds like it has in the venue, and that means it's 28 plays 27, and Oh Jin-hyuk has come from 2-0 down to lead 4-2.
吴振赫是2012年东京奥运会的个人冠军以及团体冠军。
So now we'll see Weiler shoot first in the fourth set. It has to come from behind. Can he maintain his composure here?
It doesn't feel to me as if Steve is throwing this match away. It doesn't feel... He had that 1-8 on the right. That was not the greatest shot. For the rest, he's just been shooting decent shots, but not really hitting the middle. And Oh Jin-hyuk had those two arrows that just hit the line that made a huge difference for the match. Because if both of those arrows didn't hit the line, we would have been in a tight situation right now.
Small margins, but that's just the third 10 from Steve Weiler. Couldn't come at a better time. Shooting first in this particular set has the ability to put some pressure on O.
It seems like he's not really feeling it as such. Or thriving in it, that's also a possibility.
Good 29 from Weiler. Now 10 required to match that 29 and share the set points. Oh, look at that, just when it's needed. And as you said, I think it is a case of the former rather than the latter. I think he's just ignoring it completely, the pressure that Weiler clearly put on him there.
Yeah, he's done this so many times, and against so many different archers. I think he has kind of become oblivious of the fact that you should be nervous for a situation like this.
Yeah, and we turn our attention now to Steve Weiler, who will shoot first in the in the fifth set, the final regulation set. He's really got to put everything to one side and shoot just as he did then. I mean, ideally, 1 point more.
Yeah, and I think the last shot that we just saw is a good indication that Steve is comfortable at the moment, because it wasn't a great shot, but he managed to steer it into the 10, and I think that's a sign that he's feeling good about his shooting at the moment.
Well, I think I spotted one other thing in that little break between the sets, and that's that O's teammates all seem to be standing right there. Look, there they are in the background. They seem to be standing behind Steve Weiler. Are they cheering him on?
I can hardly imagine. They might be looking at the arrow flight and gathering information for him. But what's most likely is that it's just a spot out of the sunlight.
Good call. That's getting quite close to line, and I think that we just picked it up as he was actually redrawing. He'd started to come back from the initial process. Good recovery from O.
9.
Again, it's not necessarily bad. The shots are pretty solid. Nothing special going on there, but he's just not hitting the amount of 10s that we're used to seeing from Steve.
9.
So that's a good setup shot here. Oh, Jin-hyuk putting his middle arrow into the 9. Gives him that mini advantage. Remember, he only needs to match Weiler's score here to get the 1 point for the win and a place in the gold medal match. 9 or more to go through. Looks like it might just be a 9. Could see a little bit of the line on the other side. So it does look like it's a 28 plays 28 and a shared set points in the fifth. They shake hands, Weiler with a smile on his face. He knows that was a tight one. And as you said, Chef, he wasn't shooting badly. It's just that Jin-hyuk just wasn't affected at all by any of the pressure that Steve put on him.